Okay, we're back for more rampaging through this compound with Seth's team. I hope you like this this music. It's a techno remix of a Final Fantasy VIII battle song. You're going to be hearing it an awful lot. But, just to recap from last time, we're storming through the barracks of this base here, and Arius' team has already done their part. And now Seth's team is going to finish running through here. And now we have a situation where they trap them inside a little fence. But of course Alco, being a shadow mage who can walk through solid objects, has no problem getting them out. Now I don't know if I've mentioned this or not, but shadow magic is kind of like an offshoot of dark magic that focuses on kind of like espionage, disguise, not so much battle. Although Alco is pretty good in a fight, as long as he's got some strong companions. And there's Connors, remember him? I guess he's now a summon. I'd forgotten about that. I'm not sure how that works, because, the summons were supposed to be from, like, another world, according to Master of the Wind, but, whatever. Boy, this guy's got good defense. He is standing up to my attacks, but he's got to be getting down there. Whoop! That's right. Can't control what Zala does, so she's going to still throw out the super powerful magic attacks, whether I wanted to or not. There we go. He's down. So I think we're about done with this first section here. Oops! Oh, blocked Alco. Ay. Alright, let's get up here. Yeah, okay, so we're done with that part, and now we're going to have an instance where they split up into groups of 2. 4 groups of 2. And of course, to make it interesting, where, each group of 2 represents one from each of their teams, just to give different characters time to interact. So it's going to be Arius and Seth, and then of course Galdar and Mina, which they joke about, because those two, are always like, giving each other, sweet looks and stuff like that. We got Turnus and Alco. There's an extreme introvert-extrovert situation. And then Nova and Zala, who are probably a little too much alike. And both kind of cranky. And so now Seth is mocking Arius for his concern about the lives of the soldiers. But, Arius just doesn't believe in the kind of ruthlessness of, some of his allies and, of course, his enemies. So he tries to spare the enemy whenever he can, but, of course, like he says, if they attack us, they're going to get what they get. So we got some scouts here. These guys aren't going to last very long. Oh, whoops, I think I did the wrong damn sword. Oh, well. And Seth actually hits twice if you guys have hit points. I guess the idea is that he's carrying around 2 swords or something. Alright, so now we gotta fight these cavalry guys. These guys are tough. I mean, they're gonna be tough now, even though I'm maxed out. They just have a shitload of hit points. They're really fast. They hit hard. I mean, this is just gonna be some brutal stuff here. And if you I got the instant death move off the first guy. That helps. Arius' sword has a chance of instant death. And, it's worth trying. Just keep doing that. You never know when it's going to kick in. But yeah, this guy's hitting hard. Come on. I missed. But yeah, if you're not, leveled up really high like I am, this is very difficult. But, the upside is that you usually go up a lot of levels while you're going through here. Alright, so now we are inside the tower. And one of the crystals that we need to smash to get through the next area. But we have a visitor. And this is Tor Lamorak. He was referenced briefly in Master of the Wind because his family owns the Lamorak Mines, which is one of the early dungeons. And if you've been following their very early progress on Legacy, which is the current Celeste project that I'm working on, not very actively, but you know, some stuff's been done for it. This is Bradley Lamrack's great uncle. So, you know, right now the character seems just kind of like a one-off boss, but he does have, you know, a pretty decent arc throughout the story. Sorry about that. A little tired. Okay, so wow. He knows ice attacks, and that's really doing some serious damage to old Sethy boy. Have to be careful with that. There's the Vapor Demon, remember him? That's another boss. We'll get him with the Gold Dragon again. But no, he's still sticking it out. Man, that's heavy damage. Oh, there we go. Seth got a nice critical hit. To settle the score. And so Tor is gonna take a powder for now and we'll destroy that crystal. And that's that. All set. And now it's Galdar and Mina's turn to do their part. We got some stray horses wandering around since their riders have been you know, killed. And now we're gonna go up here. And these two are a pretty powerful team as well. You know, they both know some very strong physical attacks and some very strong magical attacks. Actually, Mina took them all out with one wind spell. That's pretty sick. Alright, now it's time for the cavalry. This is going to be pretty damn hard. See, they just have heavy resistance to physical attacks, and they keep buffing their speed, so they're always going to go first. And in games like this, where, like, you know, speed is so important, that's a real bitch. You know, because even if you have to heal yourself, you're not going to be able to get the healing spell off until they've already attacked you. So you've either got to be, you know, if you have very good planning, or, you know, lower the speed somehow. Which I'm not sure if either of them has an technique for that. So we're just going to have to stick it out and hope that Galdar's awesome critical hits will be of service. But, you know, the speed's so high that, like, you know, most of the attacks are missing. Come on. There we go. Takes care of them. And then we go in here, and very similar to the other dungeon. I'm running out of healing. I'm going to have to go on a item shop binge next time I have a chance, after this whole thing is over. Alright, so there's another Crystal Smash, and there'll be another boss. Except this time, it's none other than Locke. One of the three, one of the three guys who were in charge of the recon over in Guardia. Galdar and Turnus and Seth worked very closely with them. And Arius worked for them too, briefly. And Locke is just kind of explaining away his betrayal, basically just saying that he's, you know, was just doing it for the paycheck and doesn't really care, you know, Gallia, Guardia, whatever. And so now we're going to fight him. And he actually knows both fire and ice spells, which is not very realistic in terms of the Master of the Wind lore about magic. But since these characters were also in my very first game, the first one with Lorath character, and that was what they used, I just kind of felt compelled to, I guess, stick with tradition. Oh man, another nice critical hit from Galdar. That is good stuff. So yeah, we're just gonna... Oh, that's brutal. Mina doing the sick wind spells and then the critical hits. Yeah, he never stood up. He didn't stand a chance. Guy went down hard. And so that takes care of that. Mina mocks him. And now it's time for Turnus and Alco. Now this is like I said before, you know, this is one of those things where Alco's just going to be very timid and let Turnus do all the talking. But he doesn't like that. He wants, you know, he wants Alco to stand up for himself. Alright, so we're going to fight these guys. Now let's fry him with the old circle of light. That never steers you wrong. Now, I remember I ran into a situation here when I was first designing this sequence, because Turnus and Alco are about to fight the cavalry, and it was too hard. Like, Alco just wasn't tough enough to to hold his own in this fight alongside Turnus. So yeah, I had to put in this cutscene where he casts an instant death spell on one of them. So now you only have to beat one. It's much easier. But yeah, it was just funny. I did testing and I just couldn't do it. It was too goddamn hard. Let's see if I can get the other one to drop dead. That would be cool. It'd be really easy. Yep. Oh man. Well, that was usually usually you don't have the instant death spell this early in the game. Usually that's something you learn at the very end. But we have it now, so might as well use it. And I'm sure you're seeing a pattern here. Now we have TSB, one of the other 3 guys from the old recon department, coming back. And Turnus has nothing but withering contempt for this guy, just throwing off insult after insult. He wants to kick your scheming ass. Who said you could smash my crystal? Watch the insults, little man. You gotta do that Arnold voice for TSB. That's half the reason to write dialogue for him. I think he drops a handful of very specific references during this conversation. Bring it on, girly man. Couldn't resist. But he's quite tough in combat. He's a tough physical fighter. So we'll see if I can use the that animation got all screwed up. That used to be a picture of Alco. The idea behind that fake out attack is that Alco, uses his shadow powers to kind of move behind him and you strike, and it cuts through whatever defense the enemy has. So when you have a guy with high defense like this guy, it's really useful. But somehow that animation got lost, like a few other animations and songs and a few other random graphical resources when I transferred this game over to a new computer, so I kind of had to just swap in another one, or else the whole thing would have crashed when I tried to do it, and that would not have been any fun. So you just have to imagine Alco popping up behind there. Man, the guy's defense is so high, Alco's not doing jack shit for damage. He's fully leveled and he's only doing like 10, taking 10 hit points off. That's pretty pathetic. But the hail of arrows is good. Our magic is really getting depleted. Yeah, since oh boy. Yeah, let's just refresh the magic. And Alco's also got a neat move here that can be good in very specific situations where he basically sacrifices his own magic points to replenish somebody else. See that one? That's 200. He'll give somebody, he'll give somebody 300. So if you could really kind of like make that very useful if you use it wisely. Wow, holy fuck! He just did like 300 some odd damage to Turnus. Man, this guy is not to be messed around with. Thankfully, he's down. And we're gonna smash this crystal and continue our assault next time. Peace.